got a spray. And his workers, they're starving to death. Not only that, look, not only is he at a feast, at a party, getting ready to get his groove on, but listen, the same prophets that have represented him, 450 prophets, Elijah not only wins the contest, but according to Numbers chapter 19, that listen, these prophets were taken down by the river and killed. They lost their lives.
That's the book.
And this no good king.
All right.
Hey. Not Elijah. Ahab went to the feast, but secondly, Elijah, this is right after the contest, y'all, went to the Father. Not only, listen, he goes to the Father to pray, but this shows us something about how our prayers ought to be. What happened in his prayer? Verse 42, he goes to him in humility. He's humble. Now, how many of y'all know, and be honest, be real with yourself, you know right after victory, there ain't nothing humble about you. I mean, some of y'all, you know, we don't even play on the real team. We're not really on the professional team, but we be talking about what we did. Your team won, and you getting all up in somebody's face. Come on, after the championship game, you calling for talking about what Bama. This is his greatest victory, his greatest hour, his claim to fame. But he's humble. Oh, God. Perhaps, maybe because some of your prayers are not answered. Because you're not really humble. Oh, yes, I am. I'm humble. I'm humble. Listen, everybody tell me what to do. You ain't humble.
Come on.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what he says. Maybe your prayers are not answered.
All right.
Because you're not humble. Not only is his prayer humble, but secondly, it's specific. James, the epistle writer, talks about Elijah. He says his prayers are specific. In other words, a story was told by a guy who says they kept on praying to God every day. God, give me some transportation. God, I need to get to work. Lord, I'm trying to get some transportation. Give me something. We'll be able to get to work. And finally said the prayer, somebody spoke back to him and said, listen, God heard your prayer, but he kept waiting on you to tell him what kind of transportation you wanted. You know, when you talk about a plane, a train, an automobile, bicycle, tricycle, it's transportation. So not only was his prayer humble, it was specific, it was also earnest. He was real about what he was doing. I love the philosophical fellow who says above all things, be true to thine own self. You might lie to other folk, but for God's sake, don't lie to God. Because God knows the real you. He knows you in your birthday suit. He knows you when you take your Sunday style off. The reality, he said that look, when you talk to God, you ought to come before God, telling him to come before him naked. Come before him, telling him, Lord, I'm mean, I'm low down, I set some traps for some folk, I talked about my preacher, I said,
Yeah.
he said, his prayer is humble, it's specific, it's earnest, it's persistent. Look, 8 times, verse 43 says, he kept on looking. Oh, God. He kept on talking to God. Listen, don't let anybody tell you because you prayed one time and God didn't do exactly what you asked. Can I tell you, if he didn't do it the first time, go down again. Not only was he humble, specific, and earnest, he was persistent, but he also prayed with expectancy. He was expecting God to do sometime. The reason why our prayers, Brother Johnson, are not answered is because we don't ask God really with an attitude of expecting told him like, I can't get nothing from you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now watch this. Oh, this gonna bless somebody. You need to hear this. On the 8th day, it ain't like a torrential rain comes down that morning. It's on the 8th day. Servant come running back and said, yo, Edie, I saw something.
All right.
I just imagine Elijah saying, oh, is it pouring down? Just like, you see like a hurricane forecasting? He said, no. There's no pour down. That's not, no. He said, it's not coming on cats and dogs. He said, but way down yonder, I saw a little dog spot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big cloud. As a matter of fact, it was so small. He said they're about the size of a man.
Yeah.
Who am I preaching to in this place that God may not give you a torrential pour down? But sometimes he'll just give you just enough to be able to see that, listen, my pour out has come for the good part of life. If every now and then I can just see just a little cloud way down yonder, it'll give me some hope. Who am I preaching in this place? To hold on just a little while longer. I got to get up out of here. Listen, I came to tell you that, listen, Elijah's here the promise claim. Elijah, the prayer warrior. Here is Elijah. Now the power run. 11:46. Notice what it said. That listen, Elijah, when the rain is now coming down.
Yes, sir.
In this verse, it shows the major contrast between Elijah and Ahab, the king. Notice the reaction and actions in the aftermath of karma.